most of the automation testers, they understand Selenium, they know manual testing as well, but clearing an interview becomes very difficult because we think that Python is very difficult to clear. Okay, even if we understand Python, because we have not practiced it well, we are very afraid that what if the interviewer asks this or that, what if we are not able to solve the problem during the interview, because 100% chance is there, because the question which you are getting in the interview is the first time you are watching such kind of question. Okay, and a hell lot of questions are coming to your mind because you have just transitioned from manual to automation. Okay, but the most fundamental part is, if you are practicing questions well ahead of your interview, there are like maximum chances are there that you will be clearing the interview. Okay, and being a skill, because programming is a skill, and we all know that if you do practice, if you try to code multiple times, okay, and like if you do it for multiple number of days, then definitely you are able to learn a skill. Similarly, programming or Python is a similar case. If you do practice, if your fundamentals are clear, you'll be able to clear any interview. Okay, no matter whether it is from a service based company or a product based company. So welcome everyone to another video of the series Automation Testers Python Interview. Okay, where we are discussing questions which are asked in the Python interviews for automation testers. The question mostly are simple. Okay, it will be from iteration, it will be from if else. You'll be asked to create some function, you'll be asked questions about list, tuples, or dictionary, but most of you are getting stuck there. Okay, because we are afraid of the things. But one thing I can assure, we can assure you guys, that if you practice the things, if your fundamentals are clear, you'll be able to easily clear the interview. And we'll be showing you how, if your fundamentals are clear, it will help you to gain confidence and clear any interview. So let's start with our first question. Okay, where it is asking us to count even numbers, and this video, guys, this is from the topic list. Okay, so let's suppose we need to count even numbers, and before that, let's initialize a list so that you can relate to the part 2 and 5, 11 and 14, 21, and then let's suppose we have 42, right? So this is a list, and we need to count the number of even numbers in this list. So being a human, it is very easy for us to count, because we can directly see 2 is even, 14 is even, 42 is even. So how we are doing, like we are looking at the numbers one after another, and we are trying to see whether the number is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, divisible in the sense, if the remainder is 0, that means that the number is divisible by 2. Okay, so similar thing we can implement in coding also. So since we are going through each and every number, so similarly, if we want to count the number of even numbers, let's initialize a variable. Okay, so let's suppose the even number of even numbers in this list is 0. Okay, now what we'll do, we'll iterate through the entire list for I in nums. Okay, now we'll check whether I is divisible by 2 or not. Okay, if the remainder is equal to 0, right? We'll be incrementing the even numbers by 1. Okay, and once we exit out of the loop, we can see the number of even numbers, which is giving us 3. Okay. Similarly, we can do for odd numbers also, or like in case of prime number and all sort of such questions. Okay. So whenever we are asked to iterate through, we'll be using a loop. Like in this case, we have used for loop. You can use a while loop as well. Okay. Uh, like whichever construct you are or syntax you are comfortable with, you can use that. So for our case, we have used for loop. So isn't it very simple? Like we have just used an iteration and if else statement and we are getting the required result, right? So similarly, we'll be using very basic fundamental knowledge to solve all these questions. Okay. Print list elements. Okay. How to print all the elements in a list. So for that also we need to iterate through and then we'll be printing the value I. Okay. And if you see, it has printed all the numbers one after another. And for those of you like who do not understand for loop also, what it is doing, like it will be for I in nums. That means it will be iterating through all the elements in the nums list, and I holds the value of the current element. So the first element is 2, and it will be printing the first element. That is, it will be printing 2. Again, I will become 5 and will be printing 5. Again, I will become 11 and similarly at the end it will become 42. And what we are doing, we are just printing the value 42, right? And in this way, we are able to print all the elements in a list. Okay. Check element exist. Okay. Let's suppose we want to see whether a value, let's suppose 21 exists in this number list or not. So what we can do, we'll be using in for that. Okay. So for what we'll do, let's suppose we are checking 21, whether 21 is in nums or not. We are printing that. So it is giving us true. Similarly, let's suppose I check for 22 and you will see that it is returning us false. So we can use this also to check whether an element is there present in the list or not. Okay. I hope this part is clear, and we'll be moving to the next question, which is merging two lists. Let's suppose we have two lists, A and B, and we want a single list which will be containing all the elements of A and all the elements of B. So what we can do, we can just, the way we add two numbers, similarly we can add two lists to get a merged list which will be containing all the elements from A list and B list, right? And what we are saying, we have all those things, right? And now next is find minimum and maximum of two lists. Okay. So for this also, we can use this construct. What we are doing by A plus B, we are like concatenating all like both the list into a single list, and out of that list we are trying to find the minimum. Okay, which is giving us the value min. Okay, 1. Similarly, we can find the max value also. If you see, we are getting the value 4 because 4 is the largest number in both the list combined together, right? Now copying a list. Okay, you saw that if we add a list, it becomes like a combination of both the list. So similarly, can't we just initialize? Let's suppose we have the list called nums, right? And it has the value 2, 5, 11, 14, 21, and 42. Can't we just do, let's suppose we initialize copy, okay? Uh, I will name it as exact copy and I will initialize it with nums. Okay. Now, if we see exact copy is also holding this. Okay. So can't it be the answer? So the answer to this question is no, we cannot, because this exact copy variable is just pointing to a space where nums list is present. It is not a different list altogether. Okay. We'll show by appending something to the nums. We'll be appending -11. Okay. And if we just print the exact copy, you will see that -11 is present there also, because this X copy being a copy is not a different list altogether. It is pointing to the same place, right? So for that, what we can do, uh, I will initialize it with different copy is nums dot copy, right? So this is the method by which we can create a copy, and if we print different copy, it will have all the elements in the nums list. But even if we change the nums list thereafter, let's suppose I add something called -22 and I print different copy, it will not have -22, because even if we have copied something from an existing list, but it is pointing to a different location. All the elements are stored in a different location. Whereas if we print the exact copy variable or the list, it will be having -22 as well, because again, like, it is just a variable pointing to the same place where nums list is stored, right? So we have learned how to copy a list by like copying the pointer. Okay. Also how to create a separate copy of an existing list, right? So all these concepts, guys, like, it will be very helpful to solve difficult problems as well. Only thing is, if your fundamentals are clear, you'll be able to understand Python in a simpler and a much better way. Okay, it will be very clear. Instead of making the things complicated, we should be trying to make it very simple, and that is the way how you can clear interviews as well. Okay, I hope this video was very useful and very interesting for you guys. For more such videos, please subscribe to Akansha Academy, and if you have stayed till this point in the video, please press the like button. Okay, and also you can share with your colleagues. Thank you so much.